here. And there we go. Let's see, anybody over here? Oh, Sunfire. Damon Fain, how are you? How are you? Where are you? You're the first one here. Oh no, Olivia Martinez is the first one here. Well, either way, hello. I'll be on for 4 minutes. Then I have to get back to work. Oh man, working on a Saturday, that sucks. Hopefully it's a fun job. Dogs barking. Hello everybody jumping in. Where are you? I always like to hear where people are, leaves and things. Good afternoon to... Yes, it's afternoon here in New Orleans. Lovely day, not too fucking hot, and the sun's not in my face. So, a banner day at the Uncle Birch household. Don't worry, it's not. Yes, well, that's why they have to pay you to go, right? Can I choose to dye my hair next? Can you choose a color for me to dye my hair next? I only dyed my hair ever once. Blue-black. That was an awesome fucking color. It was just black as fuck until the sun hit it, and then it had a little blue tint to it. And my mom didn't notice for like 2 months. She saw me in the light and got all pissed off. I said, hey, I did that like 2 months ago. The statute of limitations has run out on that. You know, you didn't notice, so it's all, you know, should be okay. Hello from Chicago. How are you? How are you? How are you? Got grad pics coming up. Well, especially, you know, if you got dark hair, you know, it's the best thing to dye. It's like, you know, unless you've got blonde hair, then you can do all kinds of shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're welcome. Hello, Georgia. How the hell are you? Southern Spiritual Tarot 11. B Loves Green. Hello, how are you? Lillian Wolf, Blue Wolf Lovelace. Hello. Good afternoon to you too. Tends to be the time of day I go live, and the competition is rather low. I don't see, the only person I see in the lives over there is Mama Sunfire. I've been good. How you been? Everything's been good. We got, you know, we have a life again, you know, after the vaccines and stuff. We get to go out, see New Orleans, that kind of thing. The brew for today, well, the brew for right now is Holy Roller Hazy Juicy IPA, a local brew. We don't do a whole lot of the local brews here because, oddly enough, they're weak in New Orleans. They make weak IPAs here. I think the thing is to keep everybody drinking.
Yeah,
but
they don't do that with their liquor.
I know.
It's weird.
Good evening in the UK. Hello, hello, hello. Something. So you have a. So I have a customer who's jerking me around. Put him in the freezer. Now I'm questioning. Okay, well there's your problem right there. Stop doing that. Okay, your time to question it was before you did the thing. Whatever you're going to do, especially when you're manipulating people or hexing them or something like that, that was your time to second guess it, and then you have to decide. And like I always say, you aim high and you throw hard and you let that shit go. You gotta let it go. That's the thing that causes backlash. Like even when you got to do a full-on hex, you know, you have to have the hate of 1,000 suns for that person and use all that hate and throw it. You gotta let it go. Hoodoo Brujo, thank you for the whatever that one was. A mic. Oh, I got a mic. That's cool. I dropped drop the mic. Yeah, you gotta. You need to make your decision before you do it. And once you've decided to do it, you need to be so sure that you're going to do that you'll never fucking feel any remorse. But having remorse, having hesitation, any of that stuff's going to screw everything up and get it all over you. And freezer spells, I can't think of anybody I ever thawed. You know, once I've decided to put you in the freezer, you're going to stay there, and I'm going to put you in a cooler every time I move, stick you back in another freezer. Kind of like blocking. I think there's only one person I ever unblocked. And if people block me, I always check, and then, you know, someday they'll unblock me so that they can you know, spy on me, and then I'll go and block them and never unblock them again. Good afternoon, my brother, and well met. Blessed be to you as well. BJ scrolled off the screen before I could say your name, but you know who you are. Hello, one and Nelly's. Hello. To be with him, he's crazy. I was told to put him in the freezer. I already have a restraining order, and that doesn't stop magic. So yes. Yeah, freezer spell's good, and especially like that kind of thing. It kind of freezes that kind of violent stuff, you know. It freezes a lot of things. So you got somebody that's like, you know, stalking you, that kind of thing. Hello, Scottish Witch Hars. Blanker's the Shaman. Jen B87. Lady Witch. Hello, Lady Witch. See you pretty often. A lot of people in here. It's going to be hard to keep up with the traffic. I'm Uncle Birch, if you don't know. If you don't know, well, you should be following. I teach witchcraft for a living, so that's what people tend to want to pick my brain about and what we do over here most of the time, but we can talk about whatever you want to. Okay, I'll have to do it again. Thank you. Yes, do it again, and just, you gotta let it go, man. Just let it go. You have to be that clear with your decision that you're absolutely going to do that magic, period, and nothing's going to get in your way. We're talking about freezer spells. I have one I will never defrost. Yes, I probably don't even remember the people that are in the freezer, but that's good too. You know, forget about it. Kind of like, you know, if I bury you in a box, I'm not gonna think about it. Excited about your candles? Yes, candle sales just went through the roof all of a sudden because I had some sort of drama out here with some candle maker. It was kind of funny. I didn't really go off on her that much. I think I was pretty much going off, as I often do, about the silly necessity people feel to type themselves, to brand themselves as a type of witch. I go off on that all the time. That thing I said about the shrubbery, I always say the same goddamn thing. But, somebody got butt hurt, and some friend of hers got butt hurt. And you know, so the first person came and talked a whole lot of shit on my page, and it's really stupid. It's like, then they blocked me. It's like, you realize that when you block somebody, everything disappears off their page. So, you know, she had so much to say to me that I never got a chance to read. I always miss the drama because there's so much on witch talk. Yes, there is, and I usually don't get involved, but lately I started calling people on their shit. And I will do that more. As an elder, I've seen too many witch wars in my life, and when I see kids fighting, you know, if you see kids fighting on the playground, it's, you know, some adults should step in and get in between them. Basically all I did, and then somebody got really pissed at me for getting involved in the drama. It was really funny because that person, that's all they do is get involved in drama. Literally, she said that about me, which is not true. I just taught the witch's ladder on here, third degree fucking secret. That's literally all that person does, get involved in drama. But at any rate, I mentioned my candles in my shop, the Lover's Hermetic Supply, and boom, 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 like 3 minutes later, I can see everything live that happens in my store, and I get notifications. So like 3 minutes after I posted that video, just in the middle of the night, bing, 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 there's all these people in there, and I can watch what they're doing too in the shop, and everybody's looking at candles. So, you sure you should show the Uncle Birch Springer show? Oh, we often do on Widdershins. Even before TikTok, we covered this. And actually, I think we covered a couple of the TikTok wars when those were going on. But, see, look at right now, there's people in the site, just because I mentioned there's, yeah, there you go. The levers for Medic Supply. Every time I say that, shit happens. Magic's all about action and reaction. Every action has a reaction. It's not as simplified as the laws of physics, because the reaction is not always equal and opposite. But every action has a reaction. And I can see that. Looking through the classes you have too. Okay, I think I may have just answered a question about that. Yeah, my next class starts June 1st. So if you want to be in the year and a day course, you don't want to pick the one that says June 1st, 2020. The June 1st class will not appear until June 1st, 2021. The Witch's Ladder video is still up. I saved it on my camera roll. It's not in my TikTok favorites. Oh, we should have favorited it. Yeah, it should be there. I think I only have 2 3-minute videos. I haven't done much with that option because you can't stitch those or duet those. But that was my first 3-minute video. So, and I think I actually put the title, The Witch's Ladder, on that. So you should be able to scroll back and find that. I think it's hilarious when people are surprised when they get a reaction to their... I know. Why are you doing this? Don't use cheap glass. No mica powder and candles. Well, see, I don't know that the mica powder... hey, from Wales. I don't know that the mica powder would become airborne from burning the candle. I think more so the person making the candles should be. Too bad she blocked me, because for her safety, I suggest wearing a mask, because inhaling mica powder, very bad, very toxic, very toxic. I just don't even understand why you'd want to do that. Cake glitter. You find it in the damn supermarket and baking aisle. They have every color known to man, and they even have gold and silver, and it's just sugar. So it sweetens your spell and doesn't become toxic. So if you didn't see that, there's a thing in hoodoo. I see it more in hoodoo than anywhere else. People dressing candles with glitter. 7-day glass candles, dressing them, topping them off with glitter. Regular glitter is foil covered in plastic. It's extremely toxic when it burns. You get down to the, and it's probably going to turn your candles black. And a lot of people get freaked out when their candle glass turns black. So it's a bad idea. Also, you don't want to put too many herbs in when you load the fucking candle. You want to put like 3 small holes. And you get like one of those skewer things for the fucking barbecue. Put a couple drops of oil in one of those holes. Put a little bit of herbs on top of that one of those holes and stuff it down. But this, like, just throwing a bunch of herbs and having them everywhere in the candle, that's a good way to have a torch. And that's a good way to have your candles shatter. And then you're gonna freak out. You're gonna think you were hexed and stuff. It's like, no, you just burned a candle from somebody that hasn't burned 30 billion candles and made, twice that much for others. Cosmetic glitter. Yeah, I've heard of that too. I'm going to explain why you put the stuff in the candles when you can mix it up and burn it separate. Why you put stuff in the candles? It's become a tradition, but there's safe ways to do it. There's ways, to not poison your clients or, have their house burned down. I'm not trying to catch my house on fire exactly. I don't like jar candles. I use other kinds. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I mean, they're called 7-day candles, but there's so many varieties out there nowadays. A lot of them don't burn for 7 days, or they'll burn longer. The dollar store ones don't burn for 7 days, and it's shitty wax. And will often turn the glass black. That whole idea of the glass candles turning black being a bad sign was from another world in the occult, where we had industry standards, and 7-day candles used in the occult were made from a type of wax called liquid paraffin. And liquid paraffin tends to burn clean without too much soot. Not anymore. A fucking wall of, I don't even know what Walmart. I've never been there. Walmart, dollar store, this kind of stuff. There's no standards anymore. People are using some just crap wax that's gonna turn shit black. And if you're putting stuff in the candles and oils and herbs and stuff, it's gonna turn it black. So that whole don't even divine by the glass anymore, that's a dead art. And there's still people teaching about that. There's a lot of material out there for Norse witchcraft. I don't really know which is good and which is bad in that. Edward Thorson and Stefan Eldred Flowers are probably some of the best reads, and those two people are the same dude. He has the Flowers name for his darker work, but it's just a ghost name. Shabbat candles and beeswax are nice. Yeah, but it's especially now, you know, with the problem with the bees, beeswax candles are god-awfully expensive. And I would have them in my shop, and they would rarely sell, because, like, you know, who's going to buy a $35, you know, pillar candle? Waiting for divining by glass to be a closed practice. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, because where that first comes up, it's like hoodoo and South American and Latino magics. Those were the first people to talk about that. So they're going to say it's a closed practice. Somebody... apparently in that fracas that I got involved in the other day, one of them was calling the other one out for using an egg to cleanse. Called it cultural appropriation. And people just came out of the woodwork. It's like pretty much everybody's ancestors did that. Everybody's ancestors divined with eggs, cleansed with eggs. Using eggs in magic is universal. And we just did a show. And check it on my YouTube channel. We just did our Widdershins broadcast the other night. We did a whole show on cultural similarity. If you didn't hear it, you need to hear it. It's much more fascinating than all this bullshit about cultural appropriation. You know, there's some things that are definitely cultural appropriation, and I'm sticking with what I originally said, but it's just gone nuts. Now we're talking about fucking eggs.
Ancestors?
Ancestors is now a close practice. You know, everybody honored their ancestors, fucking worldwide. Every fucking craft has always done that. But I think they lost me at tarot cards being appropriated from the Romani. It's wrong, it's bullshit, it's a fucking lie. Those people are the people I'm going to kick off my page for disinformation. I've decided of late, I have so many people following me that I'm just not going to allow the disinformation that put Trump in office for 4 years exist on my page. I won't let the people that you know, you people, I got to keep you safe. I can't let you be exposed to that fuckery. So I'm just banning people, and that will now extend into the occult. You come on my page, start talking about hoodoo being a closed practice, this being a closed, just ban you. I can't have all these baby witches be exposed to that, at least on my page. You're going to get that somewhere else, but there's some sort of responsibility I feel in that. So I can't let that go on anymore. Lavola, I've been hanging out with you all damn day, huh? You're teaching on reincarnation, also work the ancestor thing too. Yes, it does. And they're, you know, literally in our DNA and stuff. Splat, miss your live our live this morning. Who are you on Facebook? Splat. Hard for baby witches to learn when they get told shit's wrong info. Yeah. And I always come out on it, and, you know, like I always say, it wasn't until I got over here to TikTok. I came over here, oh, Natalie, hey. Wasn't until I got over here on TikTok, and I came over here to see if somebody actually was trying to hex the moon and the fae. That was the rumor that we were hearing over there on Facebook. I said, oh God, I got to see this fuckery. Never actually saw that. I saw a lot of people talking about that, but never saw that the person did that. But right away, it was Brujo Ryan who called hoodoo an ATR and a closed practice. And he said, you know, voodoo and hoodoo, he said it in the same breath. And that I have triple problems with, because the ignorance of not knowing which is which, and just because they rhyme with each other, lumping them together, is some sort of subtle racism there. Just because hoodoo rhymes with voodoo. It's like, you know, if you're going to get out here and, you know, teach, know your shit. What the hell you're talking about? So that's the first person I heard talk about that, and he's got a lot of followers. He's got like 100,000 fucking followers. So maybe he's the one that spread that. But I've seen several other people say that too. And it's just no, I'm not gonna play your bullshit. You can't have a closed practice without an initiation process to enter the practice. Period. That's pretty much what they mean. If we had an occult dictionary, that's what it would say. No, hoodoo, yeah, I just said that. Hoodoo is not by initiation. There is no initiation. It's a folk magic. Witchcraft, too, is not a closed practice. There are forms of witchcraft that are closed, initiatory practices. Definitely Wicca. Wicca's got a lot of initiatory practices, but still not closed. Just those particular systems or traditions are closed. But it's just a magic. It's just a magic. Hoodoo is not a religion. It's not closed. It rhymes with voodoo. I'm telling you, that's what happened. That's what happened. Ignorant people trying to come out here and wax all wise and look like some fucking wise person. It's like, that's your goal. Like, look like a wise person, man. I don't want to hang out with you anyways, man. I just talk my talk, and people call it wise and shit. So I'm not trying. Bro Orion can get his ethnicity straight, so there's that. Everyday homie is, wait, I want to read that. Something different. Yeah, I heard that. Hoodoo Brujo. Let's see. Well, and here we got Hoodoo Brujo. So that would be somebody that's practicing, I would think hoodoo and brujeria, which I don't even know if brujeria is a closed practice. I don't know enough about it, but I think it's more of a magic style than a religion. Paganism is not a closed practice, no. And paganism's just too fucking broad. I mean, we can go all the way back to ancient Sumeria. That's fucking pagan. Ancient China was pagan. Japan, everyone was pagan once upon a time. Brazilian Umbanda and Candomblé are African practices, but don't forbid anyone to use it. Okay. I don't know those traditions either, but I've definitely heard of them. Yeah, there's lots of African practices. Everybody got practices, but not all of them are religions.
Umbanda is like Brazil's version of Ocha.
Okay, and it's not closed, huh? Interesting. Hoodoo does run pretty deep though, and if you don't know what you're doing, people can get hurt. Yes. Well, but the thing is, okay, with regard to our show we did the other day on Widdershins of cultural similarity, that's pretty much true for everything. All traditions, all magical traditions. If you don't know what you're doing, people can get hurt. That's pretty universal. Know what you're doing. Which there were more witches close to me in Hawaii. Yeah, I don't know any Hawaiian witches, but I'm sure they're there. Brujeria is not closed from what I know. It's just witchcraft more connected. I mean, that brujeria basically is, witchcraft. I mean, that's the translation. Brujo is witch. It's not forbidden to use white sages. It's not a good policy. We've taken enough away from the natives, and white people are depleting their most sacred plant and using it incorrectly. It is not for cleansing of any kind. It's for invoking. And so people are, screwing themselves up thinking they're getting rid of stuff when they're actually calling stuff in. Well, hell, everybody wishes they were in Hawaii. I've never heard anybody go to Hawaii and say they had a bad time. Germanic and Norse paganism is open, but local practices can be closed. Yes. Depends on your traditions. Traditions can be closed, or, a coven. Or I don't even know what the Norse version of a coven would be, but they probably have something. Germanic and Norse paganism. Okay, I'm making sure I didn't miss any questions. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans, where it's a lovely day. The birds are singing. The sun isn't burning us to death. My mill lived there years ago. She loved it and misses it. Me and Marta got married in Hawaii. At the time, she was studying the fairy tradition, and very strong in the fairy tradition is Huna, which I guess they appropriated. Fairy tradition is the appropriation of 3 different distinct traditions. The Feri tradition. But Marta found a Huna priestess, yeah, she's white, to do our ceremony, and it was incredible. It was sang the traditional songs, had the traditional ritual. It was June 1st on a blue moon, and you know, Marta planned everything out to be like, you know, the moon was right over the fucking water when we were doing the thing.
She blew a conch shell.
Blew a conch shell at the 4 quarters. Oh God, I said corners.
I can't believe.
I can't believe I fucking said that.
Oh, I wish I was recording you.
Yep, I can make this video disappear. Not a practicing witch. I'm interested in the drama.
I'm interested in the drama.
It is, you know. Well, that's the thing. Okay, we all. I don't want to see the drama either. But when you're a public figure, when you're an influencer, it's about ratings. It's about fucking ratings. That's probably one of the most important things. And addressing the drama or butting your head against the drama is good for ratings. Look at those videos I just did the other night when that shit was going on, and look at the ratings compared to the videos right before it. Hello, Karel Marta.
Somebody said you're canceled for saying corners. I agree.
I cannot be canceled. I have created my own social media world in which all people are witches, and I ain't even half done yet. But, you know, when we, Wittershins, our podcast, we'll cover that shit. We'll cover public witch wars that are going on YouTube or Facebook or whatever you got out there, and call them out and hopefully make them look stupid. We're not advocating the behavior. We're more calling it out. But those are the ones that get ratings.
Somebody asked you, do you have kids? What do we do about severe family discord? We experience severe family discord.
We have kids, not severe family discord with our kids.
Well, with our
most
parents.
Parents.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have discord. I just don't really talk to my father.
No, but you have discord with mine.
Yes, yours has caused enough discord for several families. Hold on, I'm going to go violate community standards for just a second.
Somebody else asked, what do you know about Satanism?
Well, a great deal. There's different varieties of Satanism, but the majority of them, with the exception of like Anton LaVey back in the day, they don't worship Satan. Or don't even believe in Satan as an entity. So they're fascinating. And they're testing the status quo. And although they call them statues of Satan, it's really Baphomet without tits that they're putting up in public places. I think the first one was like Oklahoma or something like that in front of a state house. It's like, that's ballsy right there. I can get behind that. And now I'm canceled for leaning away from the screen. But you and your cancel culture, you just keep canceling. I just bought a certification from the Satanic Temple. So you can just buy certifications, I guess. I think you can do that from the Church of Universal Life. Back in the day, that's how we got our clergy cards, because there was no organized witch churches.
Well, you know, the Satanists are pro-choice, so I guess you could bring your certification and be like,
yeah,
it's my religion.
Yeah, they have challenged abortion rights as their religious rights to have abortions. Yeah.
It's my religion.
Yeah, they have challenged abortion rights as their religious rights to have abortions. And that's their connection.
Yeah, you've been frozen.
Hold on, I'll be right. I'm not sure if I got a connection yet. Yep. Okay. Now it says good connection.
Yeah, you're
had that happen a couple times today. I think it's time to reboot the damn thing again.
TST might be the Satanic Temple?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yes, I'm back. I had the little red dot for the bad connection or the lost connection. I haven't rebooted that extender in a couple days. I don't know any good books about Satanism. Maybe these people that just got certified can tell you.
Yeah, you're not certified.
Yeah, I'm not certified. That might be a closed practice.
I don't know. If they have initiations, it is, but I don't know if they do or not.
I do not know. Need more places for witches and pagans to gather. Well, Hex Fest coming up August 6th through to the 8th here in New Orleans. Got the riverboat ritual and dinner and the dragon ritual drummers and all of the workshops and hearing Christian Day sing the Marie Laveau song. Oh
on a riverboat.
On a riverboat on the Mississippi. Oh, it's going to be a good time. And of course, Uncle Birch teaching magical warfare. Gotta check that out. There they call me Michael Carell, but if you click on it, it says also known as Uncle Birch, or lovingly referred to. There's some language they used. Affectionately referred to as Uncle Birch. Okay. So they're all very affectionate.
Yeah.
But it's not just about hexes. The shop that puts it on is called Hex. So, Hex Fest. So, I happen to be teaching magical warfare. Most people are not. Movement is about wanting to keep Christianity out of laws and regulations of religion. Well, it's in the Constitution. I mean, the founding fathers, for all their faults, while saying all men are created equal while owning slaves and shit like that, they wanted a country free from religion. And they had papers and books, several of them put out. James Madison, Jefferson, the guy with the kite. The guy with the kite.
What?
Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. They said religion is the worst scourge the earth has ever known. And equally had some hardcore shit to specifically say about Christianity. This country is not supposed to be a religious country at all. We should not be using religion in our policies at all. So these people that advocate that are anti-American scumbags that if Russia would take them, we should send them there. Yes, the Constitution has been stepped on so much by the Bible people, in my opinion. Well, yeah, it's like I was just talking about, there's nothing in the Bible against abortion. As a matter of fact, there's a ritual that a priest performs to cause a miscarriage, which is an abortion. Pretty much if the husband doesn't like it, or the husband thinks she cheated on her or something like that, and it's very dangerous, she could die. And then everywhere else in the Bible, it's all about, dashing babies on rocks and cutting them out of their mother's wombs and throwing them off the ramparts and shit like that. So that particular God and that particular Bible did not oppose abortion or the murder. He really seemed to be a fan of murdering babies for any fucking impulse that he had. Yet these people are going to argue this kind of thing is some sort of religious thing. They do the same thing about gays. They in this country under fucking Trump, businesses and employers won the right to discriminate against gay people because of their strongly held religious beliefs. Also interfere with the reproductive rights of women, all because of their religious beliefs. There's nothing about, nothing saying contraception's bad in the fucking Bible, and then gays aren't mentioned at all. But they still won that right as a strongly held religious belief. I think you should have to go to court and prove that exists in your religion. If your religion's based on the Bible, you should be able to show us where in the Bible it says that stupid shit. There's plenty of stupid shit you could pull out of there, but the stupid shit they're dwelling on right now isn't in their fucking book. Yeah, Satan means adversary. The first utterance of the word was in Persia. God, I think three something BC. Zoroaster, Hasatan, the adversary of God. And then when it gets, you know, in the translation into Hebrew, that's what their word translates into as well, adversary. But it was Hasatan, the adversary of God. That's all.
Did you answer the question about demonic possession?
Probably not. They're just flying by over here. We've got a lot of
Someone's
people.
asking if you think it's legit because her evangelical mom casts demons out of people.
I've not run across it. I've run across demons inhabiting places. I think it's probably more schizophrenia. It's like the people that I've seen that have like paranoid schizophrenia and shit. It's like you piss them off. Yeah, it's like a fucking demon's in there, man. I don't believe in it. I don't think it exists. Even though I was interviewed on Cursed Films, Volume 1 or Season 1, Episode 2, about. I think I talked about The Omen, but we also talked about The Exorcist, and how those movies actually had curses on them. My thoughts on Mercury retrograde. Okay, somewhere we find like my Uncle Birch page on Facebook. Scroll back like a couple years. Maybe I'll look for it again and repost the thing. I made a sigil for that based on the triangular sail. Our ancestors once figured out how to sail across the ocean by creating a broad sail. The problem was, if the wind wasn't favorable, you'd have to drop your sails and just kind of float around at sea for a long time, probably drift off course, waiting for the winds to be favorable. And sometimes this could be weeks, just sitting there. And the wind had to be at your back to go anywhere. And some brilliant motherfucker came up with the triangular sail. A triangular sail, you can sail into the wind. You're just kind of at an angle into the wind. You're using the wind that's going against you to propel you across the sail. A witch needs to do what they need to do when they need to do it. They can't be held back by a Mercury going retrograde or anything. We need to use that force to propel us, even if we're going against the grain. So magic follows the path of least resistance, but if you take it at an angle, sometimes you can use it to push through. So I made a sigil for that based on the triangular sail, and it's out on most of my pages. It's just at least a year or two old. I'm not sure if I put it on YouTube. Probably did. I should have. Maybe I'll do it here. I could whip up that sigil, do a little video here. It gave you chills with that. See, that's a good sign. I've been watching Vikings on Hulu. Really good show. I watched a lot of that. It was a good show. Is it over yet? It's like the main dude. He died a long time ago. Hello, Primal Sorcery. It's good fiction, yes. Well, it's, based on real shit. When I had a friend who was really into Ozatru and Odinism, and I asked him, it's like, people are always coming in my store, looking for stuff on that. What are the good books to read? And he recommended the Poetic Eddas. There was, a tale, I think it was Eric, I forget, the guy that went to Nova Scotia. There's books on him. But the other thing they recommended was a movie called The 13th Warrior. And if you haven't seen The 13th Warrior, and you want to know about that kind of stuff, it's extremely accurate, I am told. And it's incredible shit. I don't even know if Marta remembers seeing that.
What's that about?
It's about this Vikings. They come close to the Middle East or Africa, and they pick up an ambassador, Banderas, who's an ambassador for the Muslim nations. And he goes on this voyage with them. He becomes the 13th warrior.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't remember.
And he talks about it's a time for pagans of other cultures to meet each other and learn their stuff. So the Vikings teach him Viking stuff. He teaches them Muslim stuff. Even teaches one of the guys how to draw sounds, which is right, because came from like Persia. They were like civilized and educated before pretty much anybody else except for the Chinese. A great fucking movie that Marta should apparently see again.
Yeah.
You get to see the Viking funeral prayer in just epic proportions.
Well, those are my people, so
yes.
I should watch.
All right, we should. All right, we have something to do tonight. Woo.
Oh, like we didn't have anything to do tonight.
Yeah, watch NCIS New Orleans and random movies. What did we watch last night that we never saw? Bowfinger?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking funny.
We liked it.
Can't believe I never
and
knew
the
that
one
Steve
after
Martin
that,
and Eddie Murphy did a fucking movie.
The one, Megan or something like that. Remember the one with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Who's that geeky guy?
Yeah. Hello in Virginia. I'm sure I've missed several things. Ancestors, crazy. Leaving religion. I just recently left Christianity. Just keep walking. Turn your back and don't look back. Burn your bridges. Destroy your cooking pots so there will be no turning back. So much has been lost, being found again now. It's telling me, Marta over here, has never been able to find out about the paganism in her roots because it was buried during the Soviet rule times. And now she's finding some really cool books on Russian witchcraft and stuff. Learning some stuff, and I'm learning by proxy about those things. Oh. The Three of Swords. It would depend on the context. I teach my kids, well, in addition to keeping your deck under your pillow and sleeping on it, when you first get it, you take that little book, read through it 2 or 3 times, and then set it on fire right in front of your face. You know, do it safely, toss it in a cauldron or something like that. It sends a very powerful message to your subconscious that you will not be bound by the traditional meanings of the cards. The cards should speak to you, and they should say something different every time. And depending on the context and the relation to the cards around them, that's what that's going to mean. If we just want to stick to the traditional textbook meanings of the cards, there's an app for that on the App Store. You could just, you click on it and it'll just do the reading for you. Your cards need to talk to you. You need to be beyond the book. Even though I've sold tarot books in the past, I don't recommend
a tarot class called Beyond the Book.
I do have Beyond Tarot on my Gumroad site, where I probably cover exactly what I just said here. But there it costs you like $20. Can't find much on Germanic magic. Really? There should be plenty. Thank you for sharing my live. So if you're not following, follow. Then you should get a notification when I go live. It'll pop up on your For You page or however the hell that works. Let me see whoever's.
She said both.
Both. Oh, Uncle Big Tim's live.
Germanic magic.
German or Germanic, yes. There should be plenty, Asatru, Odinism, Norse, those are all going to be, the same magics as Germanic magic. The problem is the racism inherent in the system, and the non-racist Norse practitioners have had a hell of a time trying to get the Nazis out. The problem is, the last time there was a large pagan revival of the Germanic variety was the Nazis. And it was all about paganism. They used to have back when the History Channel, they used to call it the Hitler Channel, they had a thing about the Nazis and the occult. And it'd blow your fucking mind. You'd probably find it on YouTube nowadays. It'll blow your mind what these fucking people are doing. You have one of those speeches that we always see of Hitler up there going, and we never know, there's never a translation. They never tell us what he's saying, but he's very agitated and angry about it. And this one had a translation. And he says, today is the summer solstice, the day that the sun god rises to his peak to sacrifice himself for the people and for the land. Camera pans out to his entire army assembled in front of him. And he says, as you will go out now and sacrifice yourself for the fatherland. Using the paganness of that particular holiday. The largest balefire ever in recorded history was the Nazis. The tallest maypole in recorded history was the fucking Nazis. They were all about digging up the occult and finding the 5 treasures of the Tuatha Danann, the Irish fairy race, or Celtic fairy race. And it was all about the occult. He was like, if you ever see Raiders of the Lost Ark and how the Nazis are searching for the fucking Holy Grail, they were searching for the Holy Grail. It's like, based on a fucking true story. They were searching for magical weapons of war, and the Celtic, the 5 treasures of the Tuatha Danann, were all about warfare. They were, there was Lu's sword, which we would know as Excalibur, Lu's spear, which it's rumored that they actually found that, and somehow back engineering that, they came up with the rocket. The cauldron of Caradwyn, where you throw dead soldiers into the cauldron and they come out as like zombie soldiers, which that'd be handy. The Holy Grail, and I forget what the 5th one was. I think it was a shield. They invented archaeology for that reason. They were searching for that shit specifically. That's what they wanted. I'm sure I'm like missing a lot. Is it okay to answer questions? No, please do. If I miss it or if you have an answer, go ahead. People like always talking back and forth in here. And there's so many people in here. The questions are coming so fast, I miss a lot of them. Marta keeps telling me ones that I missed too. You'd be able to make a YouTube playlist of videos that tell information about the history of things. I've never really made a playlist. There's several people on YouTube that have made playlists of me. It kind of felt weird at the time. And, I don't know. Yeah, it was pagan. That's the thing. It was the largest revival of what we would now call Asatru, Odinism, Norse mythology, used for a very vile purpose. So it's been a real hard time for them to get the Nazis out of their groups. And there's still total fucking Nazi Asatru groups that are total Nazis. And you'll never get them out because that is the group. But it was all, it was Himmler's idea. Himmler believed that the SS was the reincarnated Knights of the Round Table. And he had a castle in Bavaria where they conducted very bizarre initiation rituals and other rituals to get into the SS. They were all about magical warfare, basically. And lots of people say that they stole the swastika from the Hindus, yet the Romans had used it for war way before that. The Roman altar of war was an eagle with a swastika on it, and they would put this sacrifices to the gods of war on this altar. They had banners flying that symbol, and always with the eagle. So the eagle in that configuration and the swastika, that looks more like what the Nazis used in the Hindu symbol, which went the other way anyways. So it was a common symbol, but the Romans used it specifically to conquer the known world. It would make sense that Hitler would have got it from there, because he was looking for magical weapons to conquer the world. Do you like herbs and cooking magic? Absolutely. Plenty. We got everything that we know that will grow in New Orleans growing. I have not found mugwort here. It's one of my standards. It's everywhere in the world. I know I'm going to find it. I have not yet found it. Maybe because COVID happened, I didn't really do much long walks out in nature. What or who should I work with when practicing witchcraft? Whatever calls you. Some people, like even in my tradition, the way I'm teaching my classes now, I have students that are viewing it like kind of like a Wiccan would, where they have a god and a goddess. Some are just, it's a spiritual thing. They're contacting spirits. Others, it's their ancestors. Others, it's a scientific and psychological pursuit. And this all manages to exist under my system, and we all get along. Everybody brings something to the party. And yes, we've got a treasure trove in New Orleans, absolutely. Getting herbs in Hawaii is not easy. Ooh. Yeah, you got whole different plants, tropical plants and stuff. I'm wondering if Abre Camino would grow there, because you've got the right humidity and it's a tropical setting. Abre Camino is also known as boneset, so it looks like bone set, so it can be easier to find.
We had that at Halo, and I had no idea. Everyone just called it bone set.
Yeah, I always heard it boneset, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Kind of like galangal or galangal. I always called it galangal.
Boneset sounds a lot sexier than bone set, so let's call it boneset.
Oh, bone can be kind of sexy. You went there, man.
I didn't go there.
You went there. I just joined you on the journey.
Bone set sounds really primitive.
You're primitive.
Boneset sounds, refined.
Yeah. Well, we want to work with and honor specific elements connected with earth and water. Well, if you're going to do the elements, I would do all 4 of them. It's going to be imbalanced. Can you upload these TikTok lives? Yeah, apparently I just got that option. I did upload one of them. This one's been pretty jumping, so I'll probably upload them. But because TikTok hasn't figured out a way to do that to where the videos still exist. I say a lot of stuff and I talk really fast, and if you ain't taking notes, well, you're out of luck. So apparently I have the ability to download them. I got like 90 days to do that and then upload them. So I did put one up there. Just don't go witch talk boy when it. All right.
The witch talk boy?
No. You were the one who earlier asked about the difference between Satan and Lucifer. Satan is the adversary of God. Lucifer is something higher. In the Bible, he was an angel. Versions of that story and that character stretch all the way back to ancient Sumeria. But in all those cases, he advocated for humans, for humans to be treated decently. Now, if you were to read through the translations of the Sumerian tablets, it's a scary fucking story. Those gods were not our friends at all, and we're a genetically altered race put here to mine gold to fix the atmosphere on their home planet. Slaves, basically, who somehow, and in that, you ever seen Stargate? Or some sort of element like that. The humans rose up against the old ones, they called them, overthrew them, and somehow stopped them from being able to come here, almost like we, destroyed their Stargate. This shit really said that. 6,500 years ago, that shit was chiseled into some fucking stones. In that text, the character that we would equate with Lucifer advocated for humans to be treated decently and with respect, and as such was cast out and doomed to stay here till the planet is destroyed.
Political parties.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like the earliest cancel culture.
Bam.
They canceled them.
They came up with cancel culture, man. Where do you learn this history? History is something I absorb as readily as witchcraft, and I used to just love the History Channel. I haven't watched it in a while because it's all Ancient Aliens stuff last time I looked, but a lot of that shit that comes up in the Ancient Aliens is the old folk tales our old folk used to tell. So I'm open for that. too. And then the Sumerian thing, you know, the old ones came from space. The Sumerians were very clear of that, very clear about that. It was the middle star in Orion's belt, I believe, which the Egyptians were fixated on, and many cultures throughout history fixated on that, and specifically as that being the origins of our race, coming from there. Cancel culture is closed. Cancel culture is a closed practice. You must be initiated and then canceled. Yeah, so even the ancient aliens shit is interesting. I'm totally, so going back, if you've been following us the whole time, we were talking about the Nazis being fixated on the 5 treasures of the Tuatha. So the one that is alleged that they actually found and then back engineered to make the rocket, Lou's spear. Lou's spear was said he could throw it and it would go out and take out entire legions of enemy soldiers and then return to his hand. What we would call a guided missile. Now in ancient cultures they had no way to talk about a guided missile. So it was a magical spear that did everything that a guided missile would do. And it's alleged that they actually came up with that one, and that's how the Nazis invented the rocket. And they invented the rocket. However, the Chinese had rockets, fireworks, thousands of years before that. But they didn't seem to be digging around China too much, looking for that kind of shit. I think they left that to the Japanese. But I don't even know why I went there. We were talking about that.
I'm still thinking about
what I was
prehistoric cancel culture.
Yes. But basically where I was going is, you know, our ancestors had limited language with which to describe certain things. However, the Sumerians didn't. The Sumerians knew everything about the entire solar system and beyond, and they were right about every moon, every planet, even our own moon. They were right about all of the shit. What?
Nothing.
What are you staring at, woman?
Nothing.
That was something. I don't like that they disturb ancient graves for study. However, we found out so much. It's like, you know, all those Egyptian tombs, we wouldn't know shit. I don't know if we know shit yet. Well,
we wouldn't know about mummification.
Yeah. Favorite way of divination? Probably go tarot more than other things. You know, like got Licencia for Chummalongos. I'll even do a coin. Probably the most accurate's a pendulum. Yes, the Sumerians were freaking incredible. They knew way beyond what they should have known. Unless the story that they told was legitimate, and that's how they knew, because they were created by a spacefaring race. And if you watch Ancient Aliens, they describe Adam and Eve as exactly that. They took a rib from Adam, put it in a petri dish, and grew a female out of it. All genetics, genetic experiments. Oh, thank you for loving my work. Somebody just said that just yesterday, all I do is get involved in drama. All I fucking do, huh? I taught the witch's ladder on TikTok.
All you do is get involved.
You know,
they said that about you?
Yeah.
God.
You know, if any of my elders were alive and they found out, you know, that I taught that on TikTok, I'd get canceled. Did wifey get her champagne? Yeah, last week, yes. Oh, yes. Love combining tarot with Lenormand. Never see Lenormand on here. Why is that? I don't know, it's probably just not as known. I always recommend people start with the Rider Waite, because that's based, I think it was the Scapini. It was one of the ancient Italian decks. That's what it was based on. He was the first person to be able to, you know, copy it, A.E. Waite. And as such, most tarot decks are going to be based off the Rider Waite. So if you start with that, it's easy to translate that into other decks. The other decks are going to be similar. I don't know that I have a spirit animal. I love animals.
I would say dog.
Magic mirrors, usually a concaved black mirror consecrated with full moon. You bathe it in mugwort tea and then use a magnifying glass to affix the beam of the moon on it to consecrate it and charge the thing. And then really do that every so often, every, I don't know, let's say every 3 moons, do it again. Yeah, everybody seemed to say that. It was like when you ask about if witches believed in energy force within them and without them. What was I going to say about that? Wait, now I gotta go back and read it again. Yeah, energy force. When Star Wars first came out, pagans believed that they had copied all of our mythos. The idea that there was a force in the universe that held everything together, that was a pagan idea. The Sith and the Jedi were said to describe the right-hand path and the left-hand path, and pretty much exactly was that. So, yeah, they've always believed that. Oh yes, which school? It's SKEWL. June 1st is still coming. Yes, it will appear June 1st. So if you go to gumroad.com/witchschool, the address is under my profile.
Go do it early.
Yeah, you just go over there, set up an account, follow me. On June 1st, I'll send out a notification for that class, and you just click on it and take you right over there. But don't join June 1st, 2020, because that's about to end. Actually, yeah, I already sent out the last classes because we're in May. I better check and make sure I sent all those out. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, earlier, okay. Questions are coming fast, so I'm sorry if I'm missing some of your all's opinions on the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. It was said that back during the reformation of witchcraft and the creation of Wicca, there were some intact books of shadows. And these intact books of shadows often referred to doing ritual in a circle. Yet nobody had a circle in their book of shadows. So they borrowed from the ceremonialists because their books never got burned. And that was the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. If you go to my profile and you click on that little play button, that'll take you to my YouTube channel. And if you go there, you look for the Big A pentagram method. And because the hardest thing for doing the LBRP is for many people is being able to trace 4 different pentagrams in 4 different quarters in different ways. And I came up with a technique over there, the Big A pentagram method, where if you watch it, you will never forget how to do that ever again. I'll guarantee it.
Does size matter when scrying?
Yeah. If the surface. So you've got scrying either through a mirror, crystal ball, bowl of water, whatever you got. It's bending your vision. So you've got more surface area to bend more vision. You're gonna see more stuff, basically. Ooh, thanks for the rose. What can a raccoon teach us? I feel strongly attracted to them. It can teach us how to like walk up and steal cat food. Just eat it right in front of them. Whoa, what the fuck was that thing?
Oh, that was a weird flying thing.
You are a weird flying thing. Most of the bugs here want to kill us. Ooh, thank you for all the roses. So if I don't know it's not a bug that's going to try and kill us, I smack it. How many do I own? I think I have the Witch's Tarot, and I think I have an herbal tarot lying around. It's one of the things that survived from my shop. Most of the stuff I sold off or got rid of, but somehow that herbal tarot is floating around.
I think that
still.
one's mine.
Is that yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got it for me.
I got it for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I own one. I used to own, 70 in my shop. I love that deck, the Witch's Tarot. Yeah, it's my favorite. I'm hoping I can find a new one because I have cards that are literally any day now just going to fall apart when I'm shuffling. It's so old.
I think I found it online, but it's kind of pricey. I think it's like discontinued or something.
Yeah, I'm worth it. You got an Osho Tarot, the Osho Zen. That was always a big seller in my shop. Didn't really work with it myself. You know what? You don't know her, but Witchfoot. She was over here talking about, that somebody mentioned tarot flashcards. And she goes, oh my God, I gotta get tarot flashcards. I was just about to jump on there and tell her about Jay.
Oh, yeah.
And it was those.
Oh, it was those.
And I forget even what the company's called. Yeah, it's like crystal flashcards, tarot flashcards, astrology flashcards. If you go on Witchfoot, she just got her page back. She shows them. I forget what his shop was, but he used to carry those. Those were big sellers.
I remember his last name.
It's like Lang Lewis. And I think he just goes by the Green Man too. I don't know. I forget what that. But yeah, well, it's like flashcards. They've got flashcards for astrology, herbs, runes, tarot. Yeah. She has so many accounts, it's amazing. Yeah, she got her main account back. So yeah, finding which account that's on, or maybe you can ask her, but she just did a video and I was just about to tell her about those. And sure enough, it was those, because apparently he hit on something that nobody else is doing. He's still doing it. And they have a whole line of stuff, but I can't remember the name of their shop.
I could probably find it. I'll look for it. Let me look for it.
No, I don't still have them. I sold off when I closed my brick and mortar, I sold off all excess stock, and don't keep stuff in much stuff in stock anymore. We're gonna see if we can find that thing.
Is it Living Magic Publishing?
Living Magic Publishing.
It's the website is livingmagic.com.
So it's ICK, livingmagic.com. Oh, thank you for the roses. I don't know if I use crystals daily. I think I got a piece of jet in my pocket and a bloodstone all the time.
Used to have fluorite.
Can I format you on TikTok? Okay. I don't know what that is, but I want to be formatted. Yeah. Made yours with clay. Your runes? It's pretty cool.
Dreidel?
Seen a lot of people do it with like a wood burner and little slabs of wood. There's lots of ways to make them. Really hard to etch them onto a stone. It's hard to be that good with a dreidel. I'd say dedicating your runes, probably like most things, consecration. You cleanse it of all of its old energies and then dedicate it to new energies. So you cleanse it with smoke and cleanse it with salt water and then dedicate it. You speak to them. You are now, give it a name. You are going to do this thing. You are going to tell me things that have not yet come to pass. Yes, jet is good for evil eye. Or preventing the evil eye. Yes. So is the Chimaruta. My star sign. Is it like my sun sign?
Yeah.
Okay, Cancer. There's so much to put in. I don't care. Yes. Well, at least I can see y'all now. I used to have to ask people to type all in caps, but I recently upgraded my phone. The screen's like, about a ½ an inch bigger in diameter. Also made an evil eye talisman with clay. That's cool.
Ew, there's some dirt in the water.
Ew. Actually, a traditional ritual for that. Yeah, it figures there would be. But consecration's pretty universal too. I just got a new deck. I was going through it. My cat bit the card. Any thoughts? We used to be dog watchers, and fucking Nori chewed on my cards, and when I'm shuffling them, I still see these dents, teeth dents.
A French bulldog puppy.
And I chewed up everything. Marta lost several sets of headphones.
Earbuds.
So, yeah, I've got tooth marks on my cards, and it hasn't made them work any less. And cats are more woogy than dogs. Dogs can see spirits and stuff like that, but cats are just like wandering around in between worlds all day long, and they all know how to do witchcraft. Yes, it is best to grow your own herbs if you can. You know, some stuff won't grow where you are, and you're gonna have to get that from, you know, a reputable source. But
we should try to plant some mugwort in
yeah,
pots. And just...
yeah, I was wondering if I could find a live mugwort online.
You probably can.
And then you get to, you know, you're communing with the plants. You're giving the plants life. You're the one watering them. You're the one taking care of them. You maybe can give them some of your blood. Menstrual blood's extremely good plant food if you happen to, don't know if you're a woman or a man or what, because it's a little tiny picture. And then you've given the plants your essence. And so then taking their essence works even better. 3 gods need to be called on to do the thing. Okay, yeah. Why did I deck Torah, temperance to pieces? Oh no. Coming to New Orleans in August. Well, you better be.
Who?
Jamie, who's now tarot therapy together. She has so many different accounts and so many different names all over the fucking internet.
Oh, she's coming to Hex Fest?
Yep, it's a good thing she has the same profile picture. We wouldn't be able to tell.
Cool.
Yes, Hex
Yay.
Fest, August 6th through the 9th, here in New Orleans. It's going to happen in person.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, and 8th. And it's going to be in person. We got the riverboat ritual and the dinner and all of the different rituals
you have to
and
tell them
workshops.
You have to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test that's less than 72 hours old. Or, like, literally they won't let you in.
Yeah, so it's going to be safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're getting your vaccinations and shit. I drove off in my car with one of my decks on the car. Now they're all over the road. I would pay attention to which cars landed face up. That's like my 78 card pickup method of divination. It's legit as anything else. Somebody out here was telling people, you know, they're reading tarot cards the wrong way. You're gonna cancel that too. And yeah, tarot's closed practice too. Yeah. Southern New Jersey. Well, see, yeah, you're not too far to make a road trip down to New Orleans for Hex Fest, man. It's going to be epic. We get to have it in person and meet people again, hang out and have drinks with witches, and
gotta figure out a babysitter.
We're gonna figure out a babysitter because our favorite thing to do is spend most of our time at a speakeasy owned by the vampires and populated mostly by witches. Like maybe the bartenders were vampires. I don't know. I didn't look to check their teeth.
I didn't either.
Hecate is one of my matrons, probably one of the early ones, probably the first one, now that I'm thinking about it. She's hardcore. Don't make her any promises that you're not sure you're going to keep. That pretty much goes for all goddesses, but she'll bitch slap you into the spirit world. What is this? Vaccinated but got surgery, probably, possibly in office. Put it off till later in the month. You'll be fine. I did go back and pick them up. I thought it was hilarious, though. Yeah. Did you get them all? That's funny. She's amazing. And she lets you know, yes, she's good at reminding you. I don't know, I never know who all was here before, so sometimes I'll tell you the same stories, but in some classes I had years ago, there were these 2 boys that had a long-standing rivalry with each other, and I just told them a couple classes before that, you know, now is not the time to oath yourself away to any deity. That will come upon priesthood. That will come again at high priesthood. You don't have to do that now. There's no obligation at all. So usually we have a check-in before class, and one of the boys says one day, I oathed myself to become a priest of Hecate last night. I, dumbass. Next week, other boy says, I oathed myself to become high priest of Hecate last night. I can't imagine the trauma of these people's lives because they never followed through with those oaths. You just can't do that. Bad idea. Bad idea. Glad I do not know those people. And I would have, never been around those people either because other people's trauma can become your trauma if you're around them all the time. There's a little thing that I learned called beware the infected. That infection, I don't want to be around. And she'd be cool with me anyways, because she knows that I told them not to do that goddamn thing that they did. What would you do if a coven doesn't get along? I'll try and learn some getting along techniques, interpersonal communications. I remember one time, a big activist group, we had some old Black Panthers come and tell us, how to, because there was always these faction fights going on in the middle of it, and these old elder Black Panthers came and schooled us. And I remember one thing was criticism. They had this way of, it's like, hey, brother, in a meeting, I got this criticism. Like, you do this, that, and the other in a very bad way. And that's criticism, and you just got to take it. And there was no arguing. You had to look at what the perception was of you from the people around you and learn how to live with that. So you didn't get to respond to that in the meeting. You talked to them outside the meeting. But most people haven't learned any interpersonal communication skills or some group skills. Bit of study of psychology, or maybe even have like a group therapist come in and like have a sit down with y'all. But if you went so far as to become a coven, that's not light. There may be a time to leave that coven. You have to, but you should be able to say you did everything you could before taking that step. You tried to work it out. At least try. Fairies are everywhere, and they're not always friends. So always be careful working with friends. How would I handle bullying? See, it's tough because we're taught to teach our kids, tell an adult, and then, I'm thinking of like school kids and stuff, and then often the adults don't do anything about it. They don't have a system to handle bullying in schools, and our kid got bullied quite a bit. First of all, I taught my kid how to not react to the bully. He would always cry, and then all the kids would, the bullies would pick on him to get him to cry. So I taught him, don't cry. I taught him to instead just go, is that all you got? Is that the best you can do? I mean, at the time, some kid kept calling him Strawberry. And he cried every time. I'm not a strawberry. It's like, dude, what does that even mean for somebody to call you a strawberry? Why do you care about that? You can't show that you care about that, or they're going to keep doing it. And I saw him do it at this party with one of his bullies. And he says, is that all you got? Is that the best you can do? He just walked away from him, and never heard one of those kids call him a strawberry again. But I learned the only way to stop a bully is a punch to the chops, and that's what I had to learn to do. Even beyond that, not always just a punch to the chops. I had one bully one time. He fucking towered over me, about 3 feet higher than me, and like in the middle of the playground. He's fucking with me, and I just got up in his face, bumping my chest against him, fucking in front of God and everybody, calling him every fucking name in the books. You back the fuck off! Don't you fuck with me! I found my crazy, And I didn't have to punch him in the face. Nobody at that school ever messed with me again. They said, "Did you see that crazy little fucker getting up in that huge dude's face?" No, I don't want to fuck with him, man. He's fucking crazy. And that dude never fucked with me again either. You got to clash against it. You know, the Nazis are the ultimate bullies of the planet, and the best way to deal with a Nazi is a punch to the fucking face. I can't teach my kid that, though. If my kid does do that, I'll fucking back him up. If he's defending himself, I'll fucking go down, I'll tear the fucking school district apart to fucking defend him on that. But I can't tell him to, you know, walk out on the playground, punch the bully in the face. It's just like prison.
You know? For everybody to see.
And school's like prison too, so it makes sense. Marta, you sultry seductress, when do we get to be blessed with the brilliance of your elegance?
Who is that?
That's Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Where were you this morning? We were just on the State of Fucking Home show.
Well, I could scoot in for a second and say hi.
Get some dirty glass out of there.
Oh, dirty glass.
Whoa. My charger fell through the hole.
So I'm really excited that Jamie's coming to Hex Fest.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really cool.
I think I've ever actually even met Jamie.
We haven't.
She ran my shop for a while.
Mm-hmm.
All through text messages, never actually, you know, calls. But it's a lovely day in the neighborhood. Look at that beauty, gorgeous lady. Oh, they're going on and on. What is Hex Fest? Hex Fest is a gathering of witches, root workers, voodoo priests, and other magical traditions from all over the world. Oh my God! What I got a clam pearl thing.
Oh my God!
You see that? It took up the whole screen. Thank you for the pearl.
Wow.
I never saw that one before. And there's rituals, and there's the riverboat ritual, and incredible dinner.
The first night you go on a riverboat cruise along the Mississippi, and it's all included in the ticket, and there's a buffet dinner and an open bar,
and the menu is pretty much every New Orleans thing you ever want to eat, except crawfish, because it's out of season.
Yes, by then it'll be out of
season. And then workshops at the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, right in the heart of the French Quarter, and quite often, right outside the door, right over here at the Catholic Church, they'll be over there protesting and praying at us. And it's always fun to go fuck with them too. And they
is your phone charged?
Yeah, they have no they have no shade in front of their church, and it's August in New Orleans. You're gonna want to dash from shade to shade, and air conditioner to air conditioner, and always have a bottle of water, and just keep swilling that stuff. These Catholics are out there like trying to, you know, teach themselves what hell will be like, just baking in the sun. They're like about to melt, praying at us. And I went up last time they were here. I just stood there for a few minutes, and I went, "In nomine Padre, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, Amen," at them, and they didn't know how to deal with that. They thought I was going to burn or something for doing that. Tickets are still available, Jamie, and you know, it's, you know, the travel restrictions and that kind of thing.
Was she here when I said like you have to either get vaccinated?
Yeah. Christian is a good friend of mine, but I don't have that power to ask him to save you a ticket. I'm sure there's going to be tickets. Be good. And the Bourbon Orleans, they can do maximum capacity, so it's not like we have to limit the attendance. I mean, you're on Facebook. You can hit him up and ask him to do that. I don't know if he will. What do you think about Nix? One of my deities. Wow, who told you Nix? And most people don't know about Nix, the goddess of the darkness. Yeah, I know Nix. Yeah, where are we going to be without Nix? Actually, it's more like the dark sky. Yes, the dark goddesses have made a comeback in the last decades or so. I'm vaccinated, but I can buy it if it's online. Can't buy it? I don't see a problem with that. You're vaccinated, but I can buy it if it's online.
Oh, well, the event is not online. It's in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is in New Orleans. We're going to have full attendance. We're going to be here. We're going to do the riverboat ritual. It's going to be very different than last year.
A vendor hall.
Vendor hall. My shop's going to be there. I'll meet the people that work there for the first time. I know Nix got a lot of dark deities coming in. I just don't know if it's sold out. I would have heard if it was sold out. I wouldn't think...
Yeah, they kind of had to pause everything for a while because they weren't sure if the city was going to let them do full capacity. And the city just announced yesterday, I think, that as long as you have a mask or a negative test, that you can open at full capacity.
Yeah.
So I think there's still some... I mean, I'm assuming there would be.
I'm assuming because there's so many people that can't travel. People from overseas probably can't come. I'm not sure what the rules on that are. I don't know that our borders have been open. Hopefully, I think we let the Canadians come. So the Dragon Ritual drummers will be there. Yeah, I think that's what they're bitching about. The Canadians won't let us come in. We're letting them come in. What would you say to people who are scared to get vaccinated? I would say what they love to say. What are you going to live your life in fear? I don't advocate the Johnson & Johnson. I don't like those kind of vaccines at all. That the Pfizer and the Moderna are this modern breakthrough in science that they've actually been working on for quite a while. They were working on AIDS. They were already researching this thing for AIDS, and
they were already starting a coronavirus, like with SARS.
Yeah, they're working on it with SARS.
That's a type of coronavirus. So they just had to tweak it for for COVID-19, but it's been around for a while.
Basically, they've activated a portion of our DNA to produce things to fight the coronavirus, the spike protein you may have heard, and that's fucking fascinating. And I've looked at the science, and I'm not that kind of scientist, but I understand it. Now, the other thing that it's doing that really wasn't the plan here, because they weren't working on AIDS, is it caused us to produce T cells, which could handle AIDS, could treat cancer,
and they
all
weren't
kinds
even
of
expecting
diseases.
that.
Yeah,
they just discovered it on accident.
Yeah, well, they weren't expecting that, but I don't know if they found that when they were working on it with AIDS, or it was just a happy thing. It's like now they're going to go back and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, we really got to work on this with fucking AIDS," because we could have all just accidentally gotten cured from AIDS or vaccinated from AIDS. Could be killing our fucking cancer if we have it. We don't fucking know, but it's a breakthrough in science, and it's pretty incredible. We're still in lockdown in Ontario, Canada. Oh, are y'all allowed to cross the border over here? Though that's the thing, because there's a lot of people come to Hex Fest from other countries, but I think that most of the people, except for Witch Doctor Utu and Fiona Horn, that I saw on the presenter list, are in country, I think. Got your second shot today. Woohoo! All right, 2 weeks you can go do shit. It's gonna be so fun. It'd be like a starving man giving a cracker. It'd be the best cracker you ever had.
We started doing shit.
Yeah, we started doing shit, and everything's so great. I mean, looking back, the service may suck, the food may suck, but it all just seems great. People, we sit down and people bring us stuff, and we consume the stuff, and then we tip them really well, and then when we go back, they treat us like royalty.
And then they clean up afterwards.
They clean up afterwards. Some Aussies aren't even eligible for vaccinations yet. Really? I thought Australia was doing well with that shit.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to Australia at all.
Well, our country apparently was like hoarding the vaccine that we don't even fucking use here. Yeah. And then somebody finally fucking had the grand idea, hey, maybe we should send that shit to India. We're not using it. Apparently we were stockpiling this shit. I don't know whose decision that one was. Yes, we're waiting for that too. Our kid's 10, so they don't have a vaccine available for him, but he wants to get it. and we want him to get it too. So we're still pretty careful with him.
Yeah. Well, we leave him home.
We leave
when
him home
can.
a lot. When he goes out, he does the mask.
I used to be worried that we could bring it back to him, but the chances are very, very small that you can transmit it.
Yeah.
If you're vaccinated.
Not much, Joel. What up with you? We're having a beautiful afternoon in New Orleans. Hearing some jazz.
Can you hear the marching bands? You hear it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been waiting to hear the marching bands again. Sometimes they march right down our street. That's been slow to come back.
Well, brass is like not a good thing during COVID.
Yeah. How do you handle humiliation? Vengeance. I have a whole video. If you go to my profile, don't do it right now, don't leave the show, but go to my profile, click on that little play button, I'll take you to my YouTube channel, and I have one called Vengeance Can Be Healthy. The people that really humiliated or fucked me over, that feeling, that resentment, that cancer in my soul has always remained, and it's not good for me. It's not good for anybody. It's much better to hex the motherfucker and get vengeance, or however else you can get vengeance. I always told this story about I used to work security in the parking lot of this bar, heavy metal bar in Downey, California, and the bouncers would bounce these dudes downstairs, and then once they got out the parking lot, they were our problem. And my sergeant's this little dumpy guy. He's standing next to me, and these two like fucking ex-marine fucking steroid-taking motherfuckers. They're just talking shit. They're just talking all this shit to him and saying shit about his mother and all this shit. And then they're just about to turn around and walk away. And I was so humiliated for my sergeant that I had to witness him being like brought down so much by these fucking musclehead fucks. They turned to me and they said, you little shit, you should get your mama to feed you some steaks, bulk your ass up, you scrawny little fuck. And I said, are you talking to me? Oh, you ain't even starting shit with me, man. I'm right fucking here. You want to step up? I did my fucking greatest like machismo shit. I never do that. I had my mace in my hand the entire fucking time. And he comes up and he punches me in the chest with both fucking fists. My chest kind of folded around his fucking fist. And I got knocked a step back and went did the mark of Zorro right across his fucking face with the mace. And this was CS mace. This wasn't no pepper spray bullshit. And he goes, what the fuck? What was that shit? And then his partner steps in and goes, what the fuck was that? I go, this. And then he's fucking... So I got to watch these two musclehead motherfuckers arm in arm, sobbing like little babies all the way down the street. And I watched it until they fucking walked off into the horizon. And I never felt bad about that day, another day in my life. So humiliation is something that will stick with you your whole life. Get your vengeance. Those are times that you are justified to do something, because that's going to be a poison in your soul for the rest of your fucking life. If you get vengeance, a little less. Nobody was expecting that answer, huh? Welcome to Ask Uncle Birch, where you will get answers you did not expect.
Somebody said, Gypsy's child, I have a question, please.
Hey, Shelly, thanks for sharing the live video. Okay, what's the question?
Yes.
I'm going to grab a beverage. If you see the question, can you tell me when I get back?
Somebody, okay.
You need some more water?
Yes, please.
Which is the clean glass?
Can you just rinse it out? There was dirt there. is it possible to speak a hex into existence?
Absolutely. If you hit the play button under my profile, I'll take you to my YouTube page. I think I got one called Magic. Watch your fucking mouth. You gotta, not only that, you can think a thing into existence. And especially, some of the best hexes are not even done with any tools or anything else. The evil eye, the Irish will just cuss you out, and then you're gonna fucking die. Your whole fucking family gonna die later. You gotta watch what you say. Watch it. You gotta mind control. Also, while you're over there, watch Mind Control 101. You gotta control what you think. You can't allow yourself to dwell on negative thoughts, on limiting thoughts, on putting yourself. You can't be sitting around going, "Oh, woe is me. I'll never be better. Nothing will ever be good." You can't think like that. And if you hear yourself fucking letting those words slip out of your mouth, you fucked up. And you gotta now say, cancel, cancel, or better yet, nowadays, delete, delete. Delete that shit. Delete that thing from the universe from ever fucking happening. Because if you go to sleep having said that, having let yourself think that, that's going to be a part of your subconscious for the rest of your life until you get a bunch of therapy. And it happens a lot, absolutely. First person I ever cursed was accidental. This guy, I'll tell you the story. This guy fucking, as a supervisor for the National Guard Armory's security in Los Angeles. Apparently I was guarding from like Iranian terrorists back then. This is the 80s. And I went from facility to facility and checked up on their guards, on the security there, and did an inspection. And I went, and there was this old guy that I knew from back before I became a supervisor. And he was kind of pissed that, you know, some fucking young kid is his fucking supervisor because he's an old guy. And he cussed me out, and he ran me up and down the flagpole, and he berated me, and I was so fucking mad at him, and I did my inspection, and I left. And I would drive the freeways of Southern California through LA, Hollywood, 2 in the morning and shit, and I had this tape of all these, you know, they were like, you know, Isis Astarte Diana, Hecate, you know, classic fucking Wiccan chants and stuff. And I'm just singing those, driving and singing, but in my mind, I was hating on this fucker. I was seething on this fucking dude. I could not let the shit go. Just the stuff that he said really fucking hurt me. And I got home from my shift. I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's like 5 in the morning or something. And I got a call from that facility. And they said, "Hey, I think you got to come out here. The guard's asleep on the job." And I said, "There's no way that guy's asleep. That guy's never slept on the job. I know him well. I pop in on him unannounced all the fucking time. There got to be something wrong." And he said, "Yeah, he's just kind of in his car, and you know, his eyes are kind of open, but he doesn't seem responsive." I said, "There's something wrong. You know, I think you need to see if you can get a response. Call a fucking ambulance. I'm on my way." Dude had a stroke, middle of the night. Never recovered, and I still feel bad about that one. Really, all he did was he said some hurtful shit to me. He didn't really do anything to me. So that one, later, I felt remorse. And back then, I was still a Wiccan, so, you know, harming none and shit. Yeah.
Full law and shit.
Yeah.
Do you hear the bands now?
Mm-hmm. You can tell they're moving. Mm-hmm. Not coming down our street yet. You have to restrain your brain. Yes. Restrain your brain. Watch your mouth. Watch what you think. Don't let yourself dwell on the wrong things. You're being taught to turn your thoughts and your words into manifestation in the universe. With that comes a large amount of responsibility. You don't want to accidentally be manifesting the wrong shit. The wrath, both conscious and subconsciously, so I'm very careful with my thoughts and words. That's That's a good policy. Breaking the pattern, absolutely. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. God, our marching bands are even epic. Thoughts on the film Witches of Eastwick? I think it was just on. I've seen it. Not really thoughts much. You know, the witches back then were pretty pissed that, you know, the portrayal of witches hanging out with Satan. Back then we had our own cancel culture too. And Hollywood eventually learned that they have to be relatively accurate with their portrayal of witches, because we got a bunch of hardcore motherfuckers gonna jump all over them. That's why when they did The Craft, they had an actual witch on the cast.
Okay, someone can definitely hear the parade now.
You can hear it? Cool.
Yeah.
Which these marching bands, they practice all the time, because it's really, it's an important job
it's
here.
Like in California, marching band
like,
people
man.
got beaten up.
Yeah, you get beaten up in school. Here it's prestige.
Yeah.
Playing those kind of instruments too, man. It's a prestigious position to play like a clarinet. Got a friend over here, she's like a professional musician, plays the clarinet. It's like, that was a total band geek instrument. I'm gonna go violate community standards for a second. What are you looking at and wagging about, hound?
Waggly.
Waggly. Mojo. What? Oh, if you could see what hair. What is it, Mojo? What are you doing?
Moho.
There's that fucking thing again.
It's okay, I'll protect you, honey.
Oh, you weren't trying.
Well, because
It's
I'm
right on me.
I'm not scared of it.
You're not scared of that? That's an aggressive fucking bug right there.
Well, it left, right?
Netherlands. No school bands in the Netherlands, huh? Curious, do you ever astral travel? Yes. Can't seem to do it. It's a practice. You just keep working it. One day it's gonna work. Really shows the NOLA music culture. Yes, I did hear a couple people in their house practicing scales today that were not great musicians, but I think those people stay in the house because every musician's just fucking great here. I've not heard anybody that sucks. We did hear a really good blues band try and do Purple Rain one time, and they sucked it.
Yeah, but they were really good.
They're really good when they stayed in their lane. The gateway experience. All right, maybe you want to talk to a merciless domestic messenger or something about the gateway experience. Astro Strega, how are you? Represent. Wait, flip yours around.
He's so bossy.
Represent. Did Prince dirty like that? It was really bad.
Yeah.
And they were just great before that.
Yeah, they were really good.
Like
It
they
was
just kind of brought down the
one
whole
song.
room.
Did you say it was Purple Rain?
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Have I felt numb after smoking a blunt? Well, you go on my page. I just recently told a two-parter story of my experience of hanging with Crips. And I kind of told that story when I went to my Crip friend invited me to I still didn't really even realize what a Crip was. I was a very naive kid, and I just kind of wandered my naive fucking ass
I could totally see
through
that.
fucking minefields, and I was okay. And he invited me to the park in the hood. I know a hood from my ass, and but I took the directions. I took the bus. I got off the fucking thing, and everybody's there. I'm the only white one there. You know, there's probably some Hispanics, but all Crips. A sea of blue shirts, blue hats, blue rags, everyone. Loud boombox playing, people barbecuing. Everybody got a short dog, which is a 40 in a fucking paper bag. Sometimes a short dog can be wine too. Usually night train at the time, which I learned later. And you know, I just come strolling up. I'm just fucking walking up there. This fucking spooky little goth kid, goth, you know, pre-goth, but you know, I was OG. I was original goth. With all my witchcraft stuff on and shit. And the fucking music stops, and everybody's looking, and everybody turns towards me, and the crowd's slowly moving towards me. Later, I realized that I was gonna die. Then I'm just like, hey, what up? And fucking right then, my friend bursts through the fucking crowd. I go, cuz, what up? And give me a big hug. And apparently he was like some high up fucking Crip captain or some shit. I didn't even know. And music turns back on. Everybody go back to what they're doing. Somebody hands me a 40 and somebody hands me a blunt. And as I told you in that story, I said, you know, I didn't know anything about angel dust. Apparently I smoked it right then. So that, to answer your question with a very long story, yeah, I felt numb. I felt numb, and what I recall is it felt like I was walking on clouds all the time, and I was taking really big steps everywhere I went. And I was fucked up. Alaikum salam, lukumi.info. Hey, thank you for what was that thing? It's going to tell me in a second. So yeah, so you can definitely go watch that two-parter. I did 3 minutes for each episode, but how I met, you know, my friend the Crip, because I was too naive to understand that racism existed or that Crips existed. I was just this clueless little white boy stumbling through fucking minefields, but my naivete somehow saved my ass. And I tell the story about how, you know, I'm ditching class, and I walk up, and there's only one other dude in the parking lot, and he's black, and it's like I grew up around Hispanics, Cambodians, Vietnamese or Latinos, Vietnamese. I just really had not really talked to any black people. It just had not been my experience from the white bread land that, you know, I came from, that wasn't, you know, that white clearly. And there's this dude hanging in the parking lot, and he's wearing all this blue shit. I didn't know that, man. And I just come walking up to him, hey, you get high, bro? And he goes, what are you, 5'0"? What are you, 5'0"? And he starts reaching in his fucking pocket. And I go, whoa, I don't even know what a 5'0" is, man. It's like, it's my first day here. I'm ditching second period. I don't know anybody yet. And I got this fat sack, and I don't like to smoke alone. And he goes, cuz! It gave me, and then we fucking went, and as we're smoking, he's just telling me these stories about, you know, drive-bys that he's committed, homies dying in his arms and shit, and I'm just like, fucking, this is almost exactly like the video I'm talking about right now. I'm just like, yeah, there you go, bro. And it's just like, I was a stupid little white boy. I had no fucking clue. You know, there's plenty of gunfire around my house, but, you know, I didn't go outside when that was happening. I just didn't fucking know, and it was just because I didn't know. I just could walk it right up to this fucking murderer.
You were like the fool card.
Yes, somebody said that.
Oh, really?
Somebody said that on the video. It's like, you're like the living fool card. Absolutely. I'm just gonna walk right off that fucking cliff.
Your rucksack.
With my rucksack. And that guy saved my ass many a time. And I always remember a time I was in the bathroom. I was about to get my ass kicked by a bunch of jocks because they said I was a fag because I wore eye makeup. And so they, of course, they had to beat me up for being a fag, I guess.
Eyeliner's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, and my guy lantern was way hot. So at any rate, he come walking in with some of his homies right there and sees what's going on, and fucking, he goes, "That's a friend of mine. Put him down." And they did, and he said to me, he said, "Go back to class. I'm gonna take care of this for you." And I didn't go back to class. I went and ditched class. But as soon as I walked out that door, man, boom, bang, smash, crash, and fucking, you know, "Don't you ever mess with my fucking homie, you goddamn motherfucker! I'll bust a cap in your ass!" Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I didn't even know what busting a cap in your ass was. But I had all these memories later in life, especially when I became a cop and was on the gang unit. I thought about those days. Never ran into one again. I always thought when I was on the gang unit, it was in the same town. Like, fuck, what if I run across him again? I'm gonna have to like give him a break. I owe him. But never ran across him again. We lost touch.
Maybe he changed his ways.
Maybe he changed his ways. Found the Lord in prison. So somehow I told that story based on something that you people said. You're going to make dinner? All right. Have good dinner. Scottish, witch, ours. Glad you joined us. Oh. Rock. You know what? It doesn't seem to be changing. I think it's that art park.
Oh,
that's
maybe.
been pretty consistent, like Fridays and Saturdays, and they're gonna so we're gonna get to sit out here and listen to some really good music all fucking night. They go to like 2. The last time there was a bunch of shots fired right about the time they were finishing. But you know what? Like the Titanic, they kept playing, and the shots seemed pretty close to where they were. Well, so go to Hex Fest then. Do a money spell. Do a money spell in the name of going to Hex Fest, and then follow through and spend that money to go to Hex Fest. August 6th through the 8th, right here in the beautiful heart of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Christian Day and Brian Kane presenting Hex Fest. Witches, voodoo priests, and hoodoo practitioners, and ceremonialists, and I don't even know how to classify Utu. Underground Railroad witches, all going to be here. You know, going to be having rituals, going to be feasting together, going to be having workshops.
I think Miriam is Utu's priestess too.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's Diana Rachel, one of my students, who when I first, somebody said this shit about me the other day. It's like, all you do is get involved in this drama. I'm saying, no, I beg your pardon. The first time I got involved in any of this witch talk drama was about a month ago. I remember it clearly because it was the Spirit Witch.
It's not Diana Rachel.
No, hold on. The Spirit Witch had tried to claim Matt Aron's book as her work on TikTok. And Diana Rachel, the Spirit Witch...
It's not Diana Rachel.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's not the Spirit Witch?
No.
I think that is. Okay. I'm going to have to check. At any rate,
Wow.
the Spirit Witch caught all kind of shit. People were attacking her for doing that. And then her and the Spirit Witch got into it with each other. And that was the first time I brought up any of that stuff or commented on any of that stuff or anything. With the exception of that Tata
This
that
is
came
the
at me.
Spirit Witch.
Okay,
Not
who the fuck's
Diana
Diana Rachel?
Diana Rachel was at WitchCon last year, and she's
Okay,
going to
that's
be
right.
at WitchCon
That's right, that's
Hex
right.
this year.
So
Trying
Hex
to
Fest.
tell you.
Hex Fest. It's coming. You got to get your tickets. Go to hexfest.com. See the list of presenters there. They call me Michael Carell, but if you click on it, it says Uncle Birch. You see I'm teaching magical warfare, feeding on your enemies. The best protection technique, the most devious protection technique anybody's probably ever come up with. You get stronger, your enemies get weaker. The more people focus on you and fixate on you, the more they make your magic happen for you. It's effortless. My soul brother and I were supposed to go 2 years ago, but I always wanted to go. Yeah. 2 years ago, that was the first time I presented at Hex Fest. And then this thing can happen. I gotta warn you, at least happened to me and happened to us. We came in August for Hex Fest, fell in love with the fucking town. By November, around Thanksgiving, we're here looking for a house. We didn't tell anybody, it was a big secret. There was just a couple people in town that knew what we were doing because we needed a little bit of help to, figure out where to go. And by January, we were moving in. So if you've never been in New Orleans, you might not want to leave. We're in New Orleans. We didn't want to leave. It was too short, and so we had to come back.
Well, that's why we missed a lot of the workshops. It's 'cause that was our only time to see the town.
Well, most of the workshops we wanted to see were at like 9 a.m. And when you're hanging out at the speakeasy owned by vampires, populated mostly by witches, until like 4, kind of hard to pull that off. I'm amazed I made it to my own workshops.
Yeah, but there were other ones during the day where I was like, no, let's go to lunch.
Ooh, thank you for the bong looking thing. What is that? They're going to tell me what that's called. Ooh, thank you for all the bong looking things. It's actually called a TikTok. Well, thank you for the TikToks. I still that pearl thing was pretty epic. Somebody sent me today, man. It took up the whole fucking screen. And then one day was the disco ball. That was pretty epic. Sounds like something that would happen to me. Well, even through COVID, one of the things that I've always said about this place, my impression of the place, my whole life, I work to survive, and the people here work to enjoy life, to the extent where the trash collectors just might not show up for several days.
They finally showed up last night.
They showed up last night at like 6 o'clock, and some of the neighbors were talking about it like 8 o'clock, because people were talking about, hey, did anybody pick up your recycling? No, nobody picked up my recycling. And we just kind of roll with it. It's like, well, we'll have appointments for people, contractors to come by and do some shit or something, and they just might not show up. And we just roll with it. A friend of ours, it just irks him to no end, the lack of work ethic in New Orleans. I find it just charming. Yes. It's like, okay, you don't want to pick up the trash today. All right, well, I'll just leave it there. You'll saunter by eventually and pick the shit up.
Yeah, eventually you'll get it.
You get it. 3 days later or something. So it was last night, and oh yeah, it was trash and recycling day, which is Thursday. So Friday night they left the bar. I said, hey, we should probably go pick that shit up now.
I think it's charming.
It's all charming.
Yeah.
Well, to where like I got those tree people like talking to me about coming by to give me an estimate. It's like, I didn't call you. I called you like a year ago. You're not trying to give me an estimate for that, right? Because that's a serious lack of work ethic there. But I think they got me mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah.
Hello, darling Bellify. You've been here for quite a while, having a beautiful day in New Orleans, talking about witchcraft and stuff. I teach witchcraft for a living, so that tends to be what people pick my brain about. Why is DoorDash sending me a notification? We didn't order nothing. Might be a good idea later. We'll see.
Or we can go somewhere.
No. Maybe we should do something tomorrow.
Going somewhere tomorrow? Okay.
We can go to the bakery, go to the brew pub.
Yeah, let's go to the bakery tomorrow.
Okay. There's a lot of people there today, but if we bring lawn chairs, we'll be good.
Okay.
All right, we're going to the bakery tomorrow. Like you care. I spent the day with Birches having a ball. Yes, Lavola. Lavola was there for the Stay the Fucking Home show, which we've been doing for over a year on Facebook. Usually 6 days a week.
Hey!
Mojo, what are you tripping on?
Mojo.
Don't you bark at him.
Mojo.
Mojo! Hey, come here! You that goddamn hound. Don't wag. Whoa! Don't walk through this wire either, you fucker. Yes, so Lobola was with us at the State of Fucking Home show, and then probably an hour later, I've been on TikTok. So yeah, all day on camera. Is there a confidence spell you'd recommend? I would recommend that you go to my profile later, press the play button, which will take you to my YouTube channel. Look up Mind Control 101. It's how to control your own mind. It's really fucking important, especially when you start using your mind to create change in the external world. You gotta do that. Yes, dog's name is Mojo. He actually came with that name. He's a local boy. Ooh, yeah. Thank you for the flowers.
Yeah, his name was already Mojo when we got him.
No, he doesn't have Mojo bags anymore. I had to take care of those.
Oh, those Mojo bags.
Those Mojo bags. They were pretty large. He seems to have forgiven us.
Yeah.
They called me Lilith. Hello, you're back. I didn't know you left. Oh wait, you were leaving to go cook? If so, what'd you do? Microwave something? Shit, that wasn't very long enough.
How old are your dogs? Mojo is 1 and Azzy is almost 5.
Azzy's almost 5. He's an old man.
Yeah.
Azzy's a California boy, and Mojo's a local boy. Catahoula leopard hound, leopard dog, a bunch of greyhound, Whippet, and which is pretty greyhound.
Mini and giant schnauzer,
which I don't see that at all. But definitely, he's got the body of a greyhound. He runs like a motherfucker. He will not gain weight, no matter how much I feed him, or how much food he steals off the goddamn table. Yeah. Lodestones for getting a house. Does it take long? No, it's pretty epic. And you find the basic spell for that again on my YouTube page, the spell to find a home. It's been, I like to say 95% effective because I don't like absolutes, but I don't know of 5% that it hasn't been effective for anybody. So yeah, check out the lodestone spell. Or if you take my my witch school course starting June 1st, towards the end of the course, I teach the Uber lodestone spell, the one we use to get this house. It's you gotta step it up. That lodestone spell of mine is like at least a decade old out there on YouTube, and I used it before I ever put it on YouTube. I made Cajun wings and fried. Oh. Sounds like a local girl. I did a few years back. It did work. Now looking to buy, so I'll be using it again. Right on. Do you have PayPal to enroll in school?
No, it says, do you have to pay to enroll in school?
Thank you. Yeah, it's $35 a month. I'm about 7 years behind when I should have raised the price. And I just didn't get around to it and was scheduled to do it, and then COVID happened, and so I'm like, well, I'm just not going to I'm not going to raise the price right now. So this June 1st, Witch School will probably be the last one that goes for $35 a month. The future Witch Schools will be $40 a month, because you gotta move with the times. There's inflation and shit, right?
I see a cool Azzy story coming up.
Somebody said that?
Would you feed your dog CBD?
Oh.
We have.
Yes. I fed him CBD. Azzy, big motherfucker over there, has separation anxiety. And in West Hollywood, he ate through a door. And in Hollywood, he ate through another door. You just couldn't leave him home alone. And then one time, I probably gave him too much. We always would get these... We get pot delivered, and the delivery people would always give you little edibles for extras and stuff. There'd always be extra stuff that came with it, like a free joint or whatever. And so I had these edibles around, and we just didn't really do edibles, and so they were always just in the drawer. So I gave him an edible, and dude was sacked out for like 2 days, and me and Marta did the town, man. We went like bar hopping, and we went anywhere, because before that we had to only go to dog friendly places, to where Marta started a whole blog that you can still find called lairofthedog.com, where we talked about those experiences and end up being like restaurant reviews for dog friendly places, but then like, you know, dog friendly beaches, parks, all over the Hollywood area, but now we've gotten to the point where we got Mojo. And part of the thing was like, we figured, and the vet actually said that, you know, maybe that'll help him with the separation anxiety, having somebody here. And then COVID hit. And then so Mojo spent his entire life with us 24/7. He will not leave my side. Anywhere I go, he's right fucking there. I can't take a shit without the dog on my feet. So really clingy. So now we got 2 dogs with separation anxiety. But once our vaccines kicked in and we started going out, we experimented with it. We got a camera on the front door, so we were able to watch. You know, we've got a really nice New Orleans front door that we really don't want him to destroy. It's like a work of art, this fucking door. And so we watched them, and they just
could scream at them.
And yeah, you can scream at them over the camera and stuff. And they plop themselves down by the front door, you know, pining away for our return, and they share their misery. It's what we call a foxhole thing.
Yeah.
They bonded over the experience of having to sit home without us and not destroy shit. Winning.
Yeah.
Need to have a life. Oh, Lilith, you gonna be in there? Cool. Well, again, which school? The next which school starts?
I just wanted to show them a picture.
Yes, show them a picture. Right there.
And they both have one blue eye.
That's kind of when we
Opposite
first
side.
got them, and they're just like bonded like that immediately. Mojo's always got to be in his nook. That's the best one. Turn a little. There you go. Oh, thanks for the rose. Where was it?
Oh, and this is our front door that we don't want Azzy to ruin. It's so weird doing this thing.
Yeah. They're all going, aw. So it's been great. We you know, because New Orleans is more dog friendly than most places. Like, you could take them inside. Like in Hollywood, it had to be like outside. They had to have a patio or something. There was one place we could take them inside. But New Orleans, like most of the bars, they can go in. But then there's the kid. A lot of the restaurants and most of the bars have gambling machines in them. So
Not really a lot of restaurants,
Yeah.
but mostly the bars. Yeah.
You just can't have a kid in there. So sometimes now the kid can hang with the dogs. Nobody ever going to mess with him, because then we will save on, you know, a month's worth of dog food. Just let them feed on that body for a while. It'll be fine.
Win-win.
Yeah. And there are some tough dogs. Our fur babies need each other just like humans do. Yeah. Immediately, Mojo was always in Azzy's nook, or he sits on his head.
That was one of the reasons we got, because, you know, obviously we stopped dog sitting here, and Azzy seemed like he was kind of lonely. Remember, he'd like walk around and whimper and stuff. He's used to being around a lot of dogs, and now it's just him.
Yeah, we were probably one of the most sought after dog sitters in West Hollywood. And so Azzy always had lots of dogs around all the time. Like, we didn't have a dog, and then eventually we decided to get a dog because we knew all these dogs. And he was just great with every dog, every strange dog that would come through the door. I don't know if we could do that with Mojo. He's a little too excitable. He wants to play, but he's so aggressive at first that the other dogs feel threatened. And then they want to fight.
Mojo!
Hey! What are you barking at?
I think he's looking through that thing in the fence. Oh, Azzy looks like.
Is the fucking neighbor's cat again? Oh, stop it. Well, the music stops, so you got to have something to listen to back there.
He's full on mouth breathing.
As he really gets going, he sounds like a demon. Well, you know, nobody's ever gonna fuck with this house.
The cats even cross the street.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what do y'all want to talk about? We talked about the dogs for a while now. Now's an excellent time to get your question answered. The traffic has slowed down. Hello, Dana, Callie, Paulino. Hello. Always when you join, if I don't know where you're from, let me know where you're from. I always like to hear where people are. What is it, Hound? What? Standing on my damn foot. What time is it?
4:15.
Oh, see, you're trying to give me that look. It's not dinner time yet.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Well,
No, it isn't. Try not to walk through the damn wire, you dog. Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh,
no need.
coming right to you. A friend's getting a confirmation. Any advice? What's that, Catholic? I think that's Catholic.
Yeah.
Church confirmation. Well, let them do what they want to do. I don't know any advice. They never made me Catholic long enough for that. Like communions and confirmations. You know, I'm sure I was baptized, but other than that, I just didn't get involved in that.
Somebody's asking about the mind control video on YouTube. The name of it, and yeah, it's his.
Yeah, Mind Control 101. I think there's 3 of them. It's a series. Apothecary James. Yes. Been a beautiful afternoon.
It has.
Coming to you live from New Orleans.
Not too hot yet.
Not too hot.
We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're in the time and day when it's its hottest. Always like that's at late afternoon for some reason. You'd think like noon would be the time, but no.
Yeah. Not here. Should probably think about dinner soon.
Yep, we're going to think about dinner soon. So, and now we've gotten down to 13 people, so it seems like an excellent time. Thank you for joining us today. As our ancestors used to say, to remind us of the dark times through which they have passed and the breadcrumb trail they left us to follow. Merry meet. Thank you for the roses. Merry part. And merry meet again, y'all.